Hey there guys, welcome back to the LEGO room. I can't remember how long it's been since I last did a video for my YouTube channel. Maybe 2 months, maybe 3 months, who knows, but it feels long enough for me to feel like I don't really know what I'm doing when it comes to filming a video and putting it on YouTube. So bear with me with this one, I might waffle on a bit. What I wanted to do in this video is show you what I've been up to since I last posted, which the last post was about my Hoth MOC. That is now gone, as you can see a distinct lack of Hoth MOC in this room, and also tell you what my plans are for my next big project that I've made a start on. So after I finished Hoth, I did a video where I talked about it and I said I was going to take a break from LEGO, which I did, and of course also since then all of us are in a bit of a strange position with things that are happening around the world, so hopefully everyone watching this is safe and well from all that. That is the most important thing. I could talk for ages about LEGO, but really it doesn't matter compared to all of these really serious things that are going on in the world, and the most important thing is that you are doing the right thing to protect yourself from that and keeping you and your families all safe. So after I took my break from LEGO, I spent a bit of time in this room completely changing it. So we've redecorated, we have new carpet, new wallpaper and things like that, and I have lost my big LEGO tables, but do not worry, because I now have this really cool, I think it's really cool, worktop so that I can build my MOCs, and I've also spent a long time sorting out all of my pieces, so everything is now much more organised, so hopefully I will be able to build my MOCs quicker and more efficiently. And I have taken some time to rebuild up some of my favourite sets and put them on display on these shelves, so I'll show you those in a second, talk them through. So in terms of the next project that I'm going to build, it's going to be Star Wars focused, a bit like Hoth. It's going to be touching upon most of the Star Wars movies, and it's going to be huge. So even though I don't have the space to lay it all out like I did before, I'm going to be building it in a modular fashion. So these are 48 by 48 grey base plates, and I'm probably going to need 15, 16 of them. At the moment I've got about 8 or 9, so I need to pick some up when I get to it. Have actually already made a start, so the first part of my new MOC is nearly ready to show you, but not quite. I've taken it out of the room for this video. So the next update on this channel will most likely be about that. So I'll kind of give more details of what my project is. And if you'd like the sound of it, maybe you'd like to follow me and subscribe to the channel and see how it goes. Probably going to take me a year, maybe longer, because Hoth, my last big one, took just under a year, and what I've got in mind now is not twice as big as Hoth, but not far off as big as Hoth. So it's a big project, but it's one that I'm really excited to do. Came up with the idea over Christmas time as I was finishing Hoth off, and I was really keen to get started. So now I can. Now the room's ready, and now I've got time to get back to building. So in terms of my new setup, as I mentioned, I've got my favourite sets on display. That's obviously the UCS Millennium Falcon, which is my second favourite ever set. My first favourite set being the Emerald Knight, because I think that is a stunning model that LEGO gave us. I previously did modify it because I didn't like how the motor was added to it, but what you'll see there is the official set. And that's the same with all of these, that I built them back into the official set. If you know my channel, you know I like to get sets and modify them and add to them and change them around a bit, but these are all now back to normal. And it was pretty cool building the sets up, following the manuals. So I realised it's been a long time since I've actually built an official LEGO set and followed the manual all the way through. This is the modular, the Emporium, quite an old one now. Can't remember what year it came out, but it's definitely been discontinued a while, as is the pet shop. That's one half of the pet shop. The other half, which is the townhouse, I've dismantled and boxed up because I don't have the space to have it out at the moment. And I do have a couple of other modular buildings, not so many now. I did sell some to fund the shelving and various things, non-LEGO things. But the Emporium and the pet shop are two of my favourites. The Ghostbusters Headquarters. So I had this on my city. I think the last time I had the city out was a couple of years ago, maybe, something like that. And it looks great in a city. and even though I was very careful to not have too much sunlight on it, I have noticed that it's starting to pick up a lot of sunlight damage. So not sure if you can see this on the camera, but some of the grey blocks are less grey than others. So with all of these sets on display, I'm very conscious of sunlight damage, so I'm making sure I'm having the curtains in the room closed as much as possible, and only really opening them once the sun goes down. What's next? This is set 4483, maybe 4482, not sure, one of them, and that is the original Attack Walker, which I think is awesome, because I think the colouring, this is the really old LEGO dark grey and the old LEGO light grey, I think is perfect. So you can just compare it now to the current light grey. You can see there's a lot more tone in these, and also I think the shape of this Attack Walker is the best. I do like the other more recent Attack Walker sets, but they lose a bit of their shape for me, so that's my favourite. Hoth turret, so this is a MOC. I made this as part of my big Hoth scene. It's the one piece of the Hoth scene that still remains. Some of the sections of the Hoth scene I do have boxed up, so I can build them up very quickly. But I added a bit of base work and a couple of the figures. It's turned out pretty well. Over here, Stormtrooper, very good. This, I can't remember if this is a set that we could buy or one that was a VIP gift, but it's a money box, and you can have this badger version or a pig and maybe even a sheep. It came with the pieces so that you could swap them over. I think the face comes off and the tail comes off. Emily made that up, so and then she did actually use it as a money box for a while. It's pretty good. And then up here, of course, we have the Tower Bridge, and obviously displaying it with the gap in between the shelving. I came up with that when I was thinking about how to display these sets. I used to have this in my city. I think I probably extended it by about another 50% in terms of its height and the length, and I would run the Emerald Knight across it on some track. There's a video on that on my channel if you go back through the history of it. This is the LEGO shop. I am missing, I don't know if you can see, but the shopkeeper, I cannot find his hair. I've got in my new drawers, I've now got a place for all my minifigures. His hair may be in there. I had a few looks, can't find it. I don't know about you guys, but I always find if I'm looking for a piece, I can't find it. When I stop looking for it, I will often find it. So it may turn up in a few weeks. And just on these drawers, that's my Star Wars minifigures. I need to sort those out and work out which ones they go with. And then I've got quite a lot of order to these. So the colours are LEGO colours. So these light blues are my light greys. That's plates. Blocks, and that's kind of random bits that I need to go through, and I'm hoping that it just makes life a little bit easier than how I previously had the room set up. So less hunting around for pieces, and quicker to find what I need. And also in doing this, it reminded me what I've got and what I don't have, so it was really good to got all these white plates. Obviously I've got an excess of those from the last MOC, the Hoth MOC. But I can definitely find a lot of good use for those. Back to the display pieces. Got the carousel, beautiful set, really one of my favourites. Just the way that that's built up, and the way that the parts that the figures ride on is really nicely done by LEGO. Standing up now. So Tower Bridge I've covered, and Scout Walker. No, sorry, not Scout Walker. I call it Scout Walker because I'm very old. And when the original Star Wars movies came out, Return of the Jedi and so on, they were called a Scout Walker. They are actually now called an AT-ST. And I think that's it. Obviously the best display piece we've got here is this. This is a worm that my daughter Emily made when she was very young. It's really cute. You can put it in all sorts of different positions. So he gets pride of place up there. So that was it really. So hopefully, as I say, the next video will be on my new big project, and I'll make a series of that. So if you're into Star Wars or just like to see big projects coming together, then do check those out. And yeah, I hope you like the new room. I'm really excited about it all. It feels nice and fresh. It's given me new impetus to build. Oh, haven't shown you. my drawers with all my smaller pieces. So mainly these are tiles. Got lots of different coloured tiled pieces. I always find that building MOCs tiles are very, very useful. So it took ages and ages to sort out what I had and start plating them all together. But it's time well spent because it will pay dividends in the long run. Okay, that is me done. Stay safe and see you in the next video. Bye guys.